James Carpenter with Country Living. Welcome to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. Okay, what I've done is I marked the punch outs with a white paint marker, and I did that because you put the box up there and you say, oh, I want one here and one there. You want to identify it, so you may forget between the time you held the box up in its location to the time you got it to the bench to do what I'm about to do. So what I'm going to do is prepare this for a coupler, and the coupler will allow the pipe to attach. So these, you just kind of wiggle them a little bit and they'll break off. Now, obviously that's a 1-inch hole. So what you can do is you can get a reducer from 1 inch to 3/4. This is the coupler. I hope I got that right. If it's not the coupler, it's the connector. I get the two mixed up. Okay, so you see how that worked? That took that big hole, and this almost looks like a washer, but I reduced the size of that hole so that this 3/4 inch will fit in there, and then we'll stick one on the bottom side, and then we'll put this lock ring on there. And what I do is I'll loosen that lock ring up, and I'll get that at about that distance from facing completely forward. Then I'll hit the lock ring with my fingers. Then I'll grab the channel locks. And the goal is for this screw to be facing straight out this way. Okay, I didn't go tight enough, so let me back this off a little bit. That's going to be too tight. I'm using a screwdriver to get a little more torque on this. Let's see if that does it. No, it didn't. Alright, I'm getting tired of messing around here. I'm just gonna bring it on around. It's going to be a tight one. There, so I pretty much achieved what I wanted. I've got that facing out so that it's easy to access when I go to tighten the conduit into this. Now, this one, fortunately, will not need the reducer. This is a 3/4 inch hole. Okay. I'll tell you what, if somebody tries to take this apart down the road, after that's had some time to corrode itself in there, I don't know that they'll get that loose. And honestly, I don't know if they'd want to get it loose. So, let me explain what's going on. The 3/4 inch EMT pipe that comes out of the panel box will attach here. This is going to set kind of like this, okay, the pipe. And then out of this pipe, basically, we'll come up and we'll make a run, and it's basically going to set up there like this. And I'm going to use one of these two holes, and the only reason I didn't punch it out already is once I put an offset in that 3/4 inch pipe to run from the other box to this box, it's going to kind of, in other words, I might get lucky, it lines up with this one, or it lines up with this one, and then I'll put the connector in there. Okay, we're up a little bit up in the ceiling area. Actually, this right here is part of the original pole barn, a little support. Now, like we talked about earlier, this 3/4 inch pipe comes directly from the panel box. This is a jumbo 4 square box. We're going to mount it right here. Okay, nice and tight. Let me put that gun in your way. So remember I talked about these two holes here. So I'll slowly turn the camera. And you see part of a box sticking up down there? This pipe is going to run along here. And then, you know, I really think rather than an offset, I'm just going to bend a 90 and I'll bring that in right there. So what that's going to do, that's going to allow me to connect to what you see over there in the corner. This top one will come up 90 over and go down that way. And again, the bottom one will come in right here. So that's the plan. All right, so what I want to do is I want to take a piece of hardwood, 1x6, and I want to come in here to the outside edge of the box, which is 9.5 inches. What that will allow me to do, slide that in there. I can attach it to the 6x6 beam, and then I can go through the holes in the back of this box and secure this so it's secure. This is that hardwood I was telling you about. It's already painted gray, which is nice. It will somewhat match the rest of the building. So we're gonna cut that 9.5-inch piece. Alright, so this is it, 9.5 inches. That'll go up against that 6x6 right here, and the 4 square box will be screwed to this. Now what I want to do is I want to drill the holes, but they got to be slightly angled. And the reason they have to be slightly angled is because it's a very difficult location to put these screws in. So the purpose of the pilot hole is to ensure the screw is in the right location. Okay, so there we go. Let's install it. Okay, so we got our board. I'll slide that in there behind there like that. We're going to take our 3-inch deck screw. I'll put it in that hole. And this is what I meant by it being a little bit tight. I'm going to try holding this gun upside down. Nope. Maybe over here. No. Alright, I'm going to go get an extension. Okay, I got the extension. It basically looks like this. Now you can see, gave me, about 3 more inches of reach. Let me get the board back here where I want it. Okay, we got one screw in. Let's put the other one in. now we're going to screw the box to this piece of wood. And the box is leaning just a little bit, so I'm going to pull it over. I didn't have any shorter screws, but I believe that's a location where no one's ever going to be. Okay, so there it is. You got the 2 screws holding the box to the wood, and you got 2 3-inch deck screws holding the wood to the 6x6 beam. I just said nobody was going to get poked by it, and I just got poked. This is as solid as a rock, so I believe we're good there. Okay, so this is a 3/4 inch pipe bender. I want you to notice it's got a level on it. That helps you get the true 90. There's a lineup arrow here that's important if you're using measurements, and it tells you on here how many inches you have to allow for the 90. So let's go ahead and bend to 90. Now, one thing I want to caution you on is the you don't want the pipe like flush with this. You need it sticking out a little bit. What happens is you can bend that, and then it's not going to fit into the box. Okay, that's got it. This is the 90. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this tubing cutter and we're going to shorten this pipe down so that it'll fit up there in that area, and I can get some more precise measurements. You basically spin it around. When it gets a little bit easier, tighten it up. Just snug it up a little. You know, you don't want to go too fast. You won't be able to turn the tool, or you don't want to go too deep at once. Yeah, that was a little bit stiffer right there because I took a little bit bigger bite. Okay, so we'll turn it just a little bit. Each time we turn it in, it moves that blade, and that blade is what's doing the cutting. There we go. Okay, so what we got to do now is we got to put a coupler in the bottom of this box. Okay, I'm going to tighten it up. There we go, perfect. Straight out. We're going to work on that box over there. Okay, I think one thing I want to do is dry fit that pipe before I get too carried away. Let you take a look at that. It looks like I cut it just a tiny bit short, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything because you got that lip in there. This lip is going to catch it. But what I'll do is, because I'm going for a tight spot here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get it in the other box. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, a screwdriver. Okay, so you can see it, that's pretty rigid. Let's get that other end hooked up. So it runs from that box we installed earlier, comes down, goes into this box, and then it goes up to that box. I took that leftover piece of pipe, I bent another 90 on it. Now we're going to put it in the top of this box and have it headed that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a 3/4 inch strap and a torpedo level, and I'm going to level the pipe.